Okay, so we are on to the declutters now, and I'm not going to lie, this hurt a little bit. Please excuse the noise in the background. Matt is making coffee, and I'm not going to stop him from making coffee because it's coffee. Anyway, so yeah, this month the declutters hurt me a little bit, and it is starting to get to that point now where I've kind of decluttered all the easy stuff, all the stuff that I know that I don't wear, don't really care about, and are happy to get rid of. Couldn't be fussed either way. But now I'm starting to get to the point where, even if there's things that I don't wear that much, it kind of hurts a little bit to get rid of them because they're kind of ones that I feel like I might want to come back to at some point, and they may no longer be available when I do that. So anyway, it is what it is. I can't keep holding on to things just for the what ifs. If I'm not wearing them, then I really can't justify keeping them. And in fact, even now I can say that I probably don't love any of the ones that are in this declutter list, and yet it is hurting me to get rid of them. So I just need to get over that, really, because if I don't love them, if I don't look forward to wearing them or putting them on my skin, then I really just shouldn't have them. It's as simple as that, really. Okay, so the first one that I'm getting rid of is, and I'm a little bit sad about it because I do like it. It's the Un Jardin sur le Toit by Hermes. I feel like this might be a mistake. But also not. I really do love Hermes fragrances, and I'm actually already contemplating another Hermes purchase. And look, the problem for me with this Un Jardin line, and I don't know what it is about these fragrances, but every one that I've tried, and I think I've only tried about 3, but every one that I've tried, even though on paper they smell amazing, and I really enjoy the opening of them, there is something in them that kind of goes a bit muddy on my skin, and I don't know if it's an aquatic note or a flower. I just don't know, but for some reason there is an element of that's in these fragrances that seems to turn on my skin, and it's not super noticeable, but it's noticeable enough that when I get to that point in the wear, I feel like I want to go put something else on or wash it off. So I definitely feel like I don't love it. So for that reason, this one's going to go. The next one also came as a little bit of a surprise to me, given how hard I searched to get this bottle. And it's been discontinued now, so when I get rid of this, it's probably never going to be seen again in my collection. But this is Rose Essentielle by Bvlgari. Gosh, I just love that bottle. I really do. This is really pretty. And I have a bottle of this still already, but it's turned, and I think I've talked about that quite a bit. It's definitely turned. There's no salvaging it. I'm probably going to throw it away. And I bought this one as a replacement, I suppose, because I remembered really loving wearing that. And, I remember it being a very powerful fragrance. Maybe it was just that I was so used to wearing very light fragrances at the time. But I remember the Rose Essentielle being one of those ones that I found was really powerful. It lasted all day on me, and I felt very grown up when I was wearing it. And I really, really loved it. So when I saw this bottle, even though it's been discontinued, I snapped it up. But it has been reformulated. It's definitely not... it just doesn't pack as much of a punch as it used to. It still smells like Rose Essentielle, and it's a beautiful rose. It's sort of green. It's very light and airy, but I just never reach for it. It's been sitting here for months. I remember being so excited when I opened the box and thinking, oh, You know, I'm going to have this fragrance back that I can wear. And yeah, I just haven't, I think I wore it once and I was kind of, it was nice to revisit it, but I think there's nothing wrong with the fragrance in terms of how it smells. I just feel like I've had my time with it, and I was trying to revisit a time or a point in my life that has long since passed, and so I just don't feel like I need to have this anymore. So brand new bottle, it's going. Shameful, really. The next one I think I actually did talk about in my declutter videos last year, and I remember at the time I was on the fence as to whether or not I wanted to keep it, and I wasn't sure. So it's been sitting on the maybe fence for a while now, but I have ultimately decided to get rid of it because I don't wear it. It is a beautiful fragrance. You can't get it anymore. It is discontinued. And for me, I think there is a honey note in here, which is lovely, but I just realized I'm not really that fussed on honey notes in fragrance. So this is Flora Nymphea by Guerlain. You're probably not going to be able to read that label because it's a gold label. And the Flora Nymphea part is actually worn off. I can't remember when this was released, but I bought this bottle 3 years ago, I think. It does smell, it smells really nice out of the bottle, but on my skin it's just, it doesn't smell how I want it to smell. So, oh gosh, I shudder to think how much I paid for this bottle because it was already discontinued when I bought it, and yeah, it wasn't cheap, but it's going. The next one I'm decluttering in light of the rather hefty purchase I made of the Xerjoff bottle this month, or last month I should say, and this is hurting. I've been on the fence about this bottle for a couple of weeks now. Every second day I think I change my mind and try and find something else to declutter in its place, but I always end up coming back to this one as the one that I think I will declutter. This bottle is New York by Widian. Man, I remember when I got a sample of this and I loved it. I loved it. And Matt loved it too, and I waited months and months and months and months to buy it because I had to buy it from Lucky Scent, because when I bought this you couldn't get them in Australia. So I was paying US dollars. I was paying US dollars for shipping. It was an investment. And the investment is definitely the wrong term. Well, it's not appreciating in value, put it that way, but it definitely was a massive, massive purchase, and it took ages, months for me to finally get around to buying this. And then as often happens, you get it and you open it, and I still love this fragrance. But I think the problem with this now for me is that there is a sharpness to it, and it is quite loud. And I just love the notes in here. I love the complexity of it. I love that it's kind of dark and heavy, but also fruity and citrusy at the same time. It's just, I mean, I haven't tried, I know everyone talks about London, and I've never tried London. I've only ever tried this one because I got a sample of it, and that's the one that I got to try. But I really, really love this fragrance. But I don't wear it because it is just that really loud kind of fragrance, and it does lean a little bit masculine. That in particular doesn't bother me so much, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sad. I'm sad to be getting rid of this one, but I never wear it. I think I wore it for the first few months that I had it, and then I put it away, and I don't think I even wore it. Maybe I wore it once in 2020, and that was it. So it's going. The next one I'm also on the fence about. I kind of waited a long time to get a bottle of this. I always had decants of it and I really loved it. And then for some reason lately, I just haven't been gravitating towards it. And I've had this bottle for 2 years now and I've barely worn it. So I don't know. Anyway, it is Bottega Veneta. And I know this is widely loved, this fragrance. So it's a bit of a shock that I'd be decluttering it. And I really do like it. I don't know, I just never seem to wear it. And I don't know, I guess you can't wear everything. And I have been, since I lost my spreadsheet, I have been trying to wear fragrances just based on how I feel rather than cycling through a spreadsheet and working out what I haven't worn in a while and then wearing that. You know, that just felt like it was more pressure. And I think that's part of the problem with having a big fragrance wardrobe, is that you feel the pressure to cycle through it on a regular basis because you need to get your money's worth out of them. And so as much as I really love this fragrance, I don't want to feel pressured to wear it just because I like it and it's there. If I'm not naturally just gravitating towards it, then I feel like I should just let somebody else enjoy it at a heavily discounted price. So that is Bottega Veneta. And then last, but certainly not least, I feel like I'm going to regret this one too, but not really because I never wear it, is Alien Essence Absolue. I'm not going to say I searched high and low for this one because I did not. A friend of mine found a UK website that was selling these last year, I think, and they shipped to Australia. So I decided to just bite the bullet and buy one. They weren't even that expensive. This is the little 30 ml. I think this is a refillable bottle as well. It's funny that I bought this because I did a video, I don't know, early 2020 before COVID hit. I had travelled to Perth and I had a decant of Alien Essence Absolue in my bag, which had leaked. And ever since then, I've kind of been put off it because it just, all I could smell was Alien Essence Absolue for 5 days straight. And I didn't, you know, consequent, and it wasn't even my favorite perfume then even. So to have that happen, I was really turned off it. But because it's so hard to get, when this became available, or when I found out I could buy this from a website that would ship to Australia, I just decided to buy it because I thought, oh, well, it's hard to get, maybe, and I don't hate it, I just don't love it. And yeah, and I still don't love it because every time I put it on, oh, it's not that I dislike it. It's more just that I put it on and then I wish I'd put something else on instead. Although I will say that when it's dried down after a few hours, that's when I tend to find myself going, oh, that smells really nice. And for that reason, it's hard to get rid of, but the opening is just that alien opening to me, and it's just not my favorite. So even though I have a really good experience with it in the dry down after several hours, I don't want to have to wait several hours to get to a point where I can enjoy a fragrance. And I'm happy to wait, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, sometimes even an hour, but not several hours. I think that's just ridiculous. To me, that means there's just too much about this fragrance that doesn't work for me, and therefore I shouldn't be owning it. So someone in Australia is going to be very happy to pick this up. So there you have it. That is the 6 declutters for the month of March to counteract the technically 7 purchases if you count the Libertine perfume oils as 2 separate bottles. but I'm not. So I'm counting them all as 6 purchases, 6 declutters. I just realised I forgot to talk about samples. I did buy some samples this month as well. They aren't technically counting towards my purchases as part of the low buy, but I am still tracking what I'm buying in terms of samples and how much I'm spending on them. So I did buy several sample sets from DSH, and I did also buy samples of effectively the entire library collection from Amouage, except for number 11. So I just bought them off someone locally. And I think that's it as far as samples that I've bought this month. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have decluttered anything this month, and let me know if you're really shocked by any of these, or maybe you're not shocked at all. Who knows? Talk to you soon.